Hello, we all are facing the biggest crisis of our generation. This coronavirus pandemic has pushed all of us, all citizens of the world, to isolations. And there are extreme situations everywhere. The stories of survival and death. Economies are crumbling across the globe crashingly fast. Newspapers and televisions are disseminating informations unlike any other time before, with staggering indicators of new infections and deaths. And we all know that this pandemic is going to make a profound impact in our life. So the question is, what can we do about it? What changes we are going to experience in the future? And what are the new realizations and insights we have gained after the outbreak of this pandemic? And what can we do within the four walls of our confinement? If you ask me the question, I'm an optimist. I'm sure from all these extremes you will emerge victoriously because that's what humans have proved over centuries, over millenniums. Great philosopher Foucault argues that the birth of a modern state was in response to the plague Europe faced a few centuries ago. After every crisis, there will be a revival of community spirit, and we will come up with solutions we have never thought before. This storm will definitely pass, and we will survive. But the question is, are we going to inhabit in the same world? So let's look at the what are the possible changes we are going to experience. We don't know that yet, but let's explore. But one thing we are sure, the next few weeks will decide what the future will hold for all of us. The world is witnessing a process of resetting its reset button. And soon there will be a global rebooting going to take place. And everything will change. The nature of business, the economy, healthcare, education, culture, everything is going to be changing, and we have to be prepared for that. As part of this, already there are some short-term measures are already become the fixture of our life. For example, my young children, they started their online classes already, which is of course not of our choice. But it has been forced upon us before the technology and the methodology was matured enough. Clinics are not working anymore, but telemedicine is already in place. And many other online business models are pushing toward us. And we don't have the luxury anymore for its natural evolution of growth to its maturity. Probably we are accepting them because we know the risk of doing nothing is bigger than that. So the entire world, the population of all countries are being experimented for various untested methods of online business models. So the good side is that on a daily basis we are having new lessons and insights. We are witnessing failures of many systems and standards across the globe. We're terribly lacking a global leadership and vision. And when it comes to the welfare of the humanity, what we see is only protectionism and some rhetorics of politics, which is actually very limited to the interest of some nations. So we have new realizations that the market based and the asset based models are failing catastrophically. Capitalism, individualism, and greed are failing drastically. We have witnessed even the developed world, public health and services are in chaos. So, when we look at the future, there are some very interesting manifestations. For decades, we have been complaining about climate changes. And today, this pandemic has brought a number of changes in the environments as millions across the world are placed in lockdown. We don't know if they're good for the environment or not. We started witnessing clearer sky with less carbon emissions in many places. There is crystal clear water in the Canal of Venice. Dolphins have started coming to the shores of Italy. Thousands of turtles have come from the sea and started laying eggs on the shores of Indian state of Odisha. And elephants and deer started occupying the uninhabited spaces in various parts of India. And even in Dubai, endangered species named gazelles. They appeared in the uninhabited streets of Dubai. So, according to China's Ministry of Ecology and Environment, the average number of good quality air days increased 21.5% in February compared to the same period last year. Carbon emissions are also significantly down in China. Between 3rd and March 31st, they experienced a 25% of decrease in carbon emissions. And there are some other side effects, some other effects also for the lockdown. But I believe it's too early to suggest if it's good or bad. Can we sacrifice human life to bring coexistence for the animal world? But we know that we have many things to learn from this. And on the other side, you can see that new buzzwords has come up. WFH, work from home. It's a new buzzword, and the organizations are empowering their employees and trusting them with clear understanding of expectations and services to be delivered. And everybody takes accountability with clear communications. But was it our choice? No. Business continuity plans have necessitated the option of working from home. Otherwise, business won't survive and people will lose their jobs. And the interesting thing is, none of these are of our conscious choices. But the inevitability of the situation has forced upon us to do so. Just to give you an example, personally speaking, I myself, I always thought that we were held up in the bubble of consumerism. And as part of creating a balance, I always wanted to practice minimalism. But I could never do that. It was always, there as a romantic idea in my mind. But now the unavailability of sufficient material has pushed us to adopt the minimum lifestyle. So I believe this could be a natural correction phase. And if you look at the global politics, we definitely need a new world order with a new emphasis on global governance and control. IMF has already warned that economic crisis is imminent, and to fight against it, a global cooperation is vitally important. But if we choose a path of disunity, disregarding others, the result could be in chaos. It will prolong the crisis and it will bring catastrophes in the future. But if we are together to fight against the current pandemic, it will definitely pave ways of global solidarity, and the victory will not be against the single epidemic, but probably for all the other epidemics that are yet to come in the future, or even for the other challenges that are yet to come in the future. So, what can we do? If you think that you are in isolation, you are not alone. The whole world is in isolation. If you are scared, it won't help you at all. Just understand that when tension and worry aggravate, they weaken the body's immune system. Whereas hope and positive belief will enhance the immune system and protect the danger of being infected by the virus. And there are various studies that isolation is the key to strengthen your mind. And it is also time for us, for self-reflection, preparation, and it will help you introspect and find out what your real strengths are, and you will come up with an unimaginable solution to the world. So there are reasons to worry, but there are reasons for hope as well. But we can't afford to be complacent, and we all need to fight from our individual capacity till we find innovative ways to mobilize our collective resources globally. And you have to understand that we are connected. I'm sure we need to find new ways of support each other in the time of adversity. And this is the basic instinct of humans. When we have a common enemy, we unite. While scientists, biologists, and chemists and entrepreneurs focus on finding solutions on this, let's work on a global solidarity. Let's spread the message of hope and expectations as much as we can. Thank you very much.